Welcome to our industry show. This is actually our sixth edition. And today we got to where we needed to get to, and we brought you the real deal. ECHO Air Conditioning, contractor that does air conditioning, refrigeration in the whole state of Florida.
Yes, sir.
In the whole state of Florida. And today we have with us a special guest, and his name is Don. Don, welcome to the Miami Community Newspaper. And thank you for being here with us and sharing a little bit about your story, about what you do and how you got into this industry.
Okay.
And first of all, I want to thank Tommy behind the camera scenes that's always here with us. Tommy, thank you so much. And thank you to Michael Miller and the Miami Community Newspaper for supporting our show. And also I want to thank Cutler Bay Business Association for supporting also our industry show. And like I said, this is our sixth edition. And trust me, we're getting a lot of customers that are looking at our videos. They're sharing it because we're bringing in informative information that are going to help, end users, are going to help contractors, are going to help the industry just, acquire better service, better information. And we're here local in the state. So again, I want to welcome you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Don. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read a bio about yourself.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and get started with our program.
Okay.
Don Payne.
Yes.
He's a project manager, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're a project manager right now?
And business development.
And business development.
Correct.
Okay. He's responsible for customer acquisition and coordination of projects ranging from maintenance, repair, remodels at client sites, evaluation and recommending replacements of HVAC systems. He manages and directs about 13 employees.
Correct.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you once again for being up here with us, and tell us a little bit of how you got started, basically, how you got started in this industry, and tell me a little bit of what you did before that got you into this industry.
Okay.
And I understand you did some printing circuit boards.
Correct. I was in the printed circuit board semiconductor industry. Came out of school. Everything from the manufacturing side to facility maintenance, retrofits of equipment. So over the years, the printed circuit board industry and semiconductor industry had started transitioning and relocating to low-cost countries outside of the U.S. So that available work became less and less and less.
Right.
So in 2011, I left California, relocated here to Florida. I've been coming back and forth for years, but made this my home. And I was looking to get into something different, something recession-proof. I thought about this before I wanted to transition into a new industry or a new career, so to speak. And air conditioning, refrigeration, it's recession-proof. We're here in the subtropics. The great thing about the trades that I have found over the years, although I wasn't directly involved in them, is that high demand. There's a shortage of skilled technicians, mechanics, electricians, plumbers,
right,
in the United States. There's some, how shall I say, apprenticeships, whether it's through school systems or through the union. I just chose to self-pay. It was a 3-month course. South Florida Academy of AC.
Correct.
My first job was preventative maintenance for cell towers, for the climate cell towers. Then I transitioned over to supermarkets, which opened up an entirely new world. So large chains, grocery stores, supermarkets, restaurants, and it's been a great ride. Every day I learned something different. We're driven by physics, pressures, temperatures, voltages, RPMs. So every day is different. Every customer is different. Every site, every situation that we get into. At the end of the day, we repair things and we replace things. That's what we do.
Right.
So so far it's been a really great ride.
Right. So our viewers understand where you came from. So basically, you're like your cell phone, right? It has a circuit board inside,
Correct.
And you used to manufacture those boards.
Manufacture those, and then I also took care of the equipment that manufactured.
Right.
So plating machines, drilling machines, routers, those type of
right.
things.
So that market was taken overseas.
Yes.
And taken abroad.
Yes.
Like a lot of our businesses are taken abroad.
Correct.
And the market was taken by China.
Predominantly the Chinese. There was some transition into Taiwan. Malaysia, but the bulk is China.
Right.
So China took the bulk of it, and a lot of the raw materials utilized in manufacturing printed circuit board comes from China. So
Correct.
it was just they were able to integrate vertically their supply chain and then come up with the end product.
Right. And
Which is
these
exactly
were
what they
circuit
did.
boards that went from phones to cars, right? Because now cars needed circuit boards back then. Marine.
Look at the new Samsung refrigerators. They have displays. I mean, the monitors here, they all have
Right. All those
you
circuit
have
boards.
circuit boards in your
Correct.
laptop.
And that market was just taken abroad, and you had to reinvent the wheel.
Over about 2 decades, yes.
Yes. So you had to reinvent your wheel and figure out, hey, what industry can I get into?
Exactly.
One that's resilient, one that I can go to school, study, and within a short time I can get a degree or certificate,
Yes.
and be able to apply for a company and be able to get hands-on and work as an HVAC tech.
Absolutely.
And you started this back in 2012.
2012.
In 2012.
2012. So I transitioned. So I went to the part side. I've done supervision, project management, to where I'm at now, which is business development. And whether it's, some people call it client acquisition, but I'm also recruiting for technicians. So either people that have no experience up to senior, journeyman type technicians.
Perfect. So yeah, this is a great. This is why we bring you here, so we could get employees for you. So what number could they reach you if someone's looking for an opportunity to start?
So my main number is 786
Mhm.
286 2911. We are located in Oakland Park. I am in Cutler Bay, and we do work throughout the state, and we are expanding into Central Florida as we speak with a convenience store chain.
Right. And what kind of individuals are you looking for? What kind of positions do you have at the moment?
So mechanically inclined.
Mechanically inclined.
Mechanically inclined.
Yes.
We've had some people that come in as carpenters. We've had some people that just came out of fast food. And we have a training program in place so that we can get them where they're work ready. So they're not just a helper. We get them to where they can start doing preventive maintenance and start doing basic diagnostics. And what's really neat is that if you have, especially for the young people that have technical skills, whether it's with apps or computer skills, where they're very familiar with software, a lot of the building automation systems for Internet of Things, the IoT,
Correct.
monitoring systems, the Nest, being able to go in there
Right.
and do that, adjust the temperature, Wi-Fi. It's a great opportunity for them, and it's recession proof. You'll never be without a job
Right,
as long as
'cause-
you apply yourself.
Right. Because this industry is not only hands-on and tools like we look or climbing that roof. No, we also need individuals that have ability and capability of understanding circuits
Absolutely.
and electronics.
Correct.
Because now a lot of equipment being now DC inverters, they're all electronics.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, a lot of electronics is moving into this direction where now to troubleshoot a unit, you have codes,
Correct.
correct? That they give you a code and you press this button and it resets and so forth. So yeah, not only individuals that know how to work with their tools and hands-on, but we need individuals in our trade that are also savvy.
Correct.
And
With
the
a handheld
electronics.
device or with a laptop. And then some of our customers, we actually have the ability to remote in. And what that means is we could be at the office and just go in there. If they have an issue, an alert will come up. We can go in there and see the basics of what's going on. Is the system unique? Is it currently operating? What's the set point? What's the current temperature? Whether it's air conditioning or refrigeration.
Perfect. Well, I think it's a very interesting opportunity. I think that, again, what is the website in case they need to go there?
So the website is
Yes.
www.ECHOHVAC, and I'll spell that ECHOHVAC.com. And my email address is dpayne@echohvac.com.
Right. That's D Payne.
dpayne@echohvac.com.
Perfect. And they can go ahead and submit. There's an application. How would the
Not at
process
this
go?
point. So what an individual would need to do is just call me directly. I always return my phone calls. If it goes to voicemail, I already tell you that.
Yes.
Or email me, and then from there, bring it to our team, and then we'll call you in for an interview.
Perfect.
So we are actively hiring, not only for air conditioning, but we also have electrical and the plumbing license as well. So we're looking
Division,
for those,
right.
Correct. We're looking
Right.
for those individuals as well.
Right. And because in our industry, normally the HVAC contractors, they only are allowed to work on the HVAC side and we need to hire or rehire an electrical contractor to come in and then do the electrical part
And or plumbing.
or the plumbing.
To
But
your point.
Echo Air Conditioning does all three,
Correct.
so that way they don't have to coordinate with other contractors and basically delay your projects.
Correct. So we're able to offer a full turnkey solution when we're doing installations, whether it's for a retail or a municipality. We do work for some cities and counties. Currently bidding projects for state of Florida and federal as well. So the response that we've had so far is that the end users, they really like that because they're only having to deal with one entity.
One entity, correct. Instead of having to sub out your electrical, your plumbing contractor to make that whole job work.
Correct.
Right. Tell me a little bit about the CAPEX, the annual plan that you have for customers for high-rise buildings or.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So what we'll do is typically when we first do an initial engagement with the customer or a new contract, if it's a maintenance where we're taking care of their monthly maintenances, quarterly maintenances, and then also their service work, meaning repairs, we call those reactive or proactive, which mean a unit is toward its useful life and we're going to go ahead and replace that. So what we'll do is we'll take a list of all the systems and we help their facility management team and their financial folks develop a CapEx plan. Just can't change all the equipment at once. So what we'll do is we'll sit there and list the equipment along with their facility team and basically triage and say, okay, these 2 units we need to plan changing out over the next couple of years. So typically we try to go out 3 years. That's typically what we've seen so far with our customers.
Right. And this is a customer that may have 10, 15 units in a facility, and they need to properly be addressed and say, hey, you evaluate these, right? You go to the project, you go to the job site, and you do an evaluation of where they are. And what customers don't understand sometimes that you and I discuss is that by having a system in your house for more than 8 or 10 years, it's costing you money to maintain.
Absolutely.
And the customers call me and they say, hey, Ernie, I have a great working system from York, and it's been here working for 15 years. And I say, oh, that's great to hear. But guess what? It's time to change it. Because at this point, technology is more advanced and the efficiencies ratings are more higher.
Energy consumption is going to be reduced.
Correct. And also we're using a new refrigerant, which is more friendly, eco-friendly, which is the new R410A versus the old R22 systems that we used to use.
True.
So by having a 8 or 10-year-old system in your home is costing you money.
True.
So this is where you come in and you evaluate that system or those systems.
All those systems. And some of the super centers that we work with can have as many as 52 air conditioning units on the roof.
Right.
So,
and if they're leaking and if they're not efficient and they're not working properly, they're actually consuming on their electrical, which in the back end is costing them more money.
Exactly. A lot of money.
A lot of money. And this is where you come in and you evaluate the systems. And how long does the process take? Let's say you go into a place, you evaluate their systems. What's the turnaround time of giving them that solution?
So just use an example. So a super center, let's say there's 50 air conditioning units on the roof. Basically, we'd go out there, we'd develop a roof map where the units are, map those out, model serial number the units, which will dictate and tell us what the age is of those particular systems.
Right, with the model number and serial number.
And the serial number, correct.
That takes how old they are.
Right. Lets us know how old they are. So then once we have that information, then we just do a general observation. We look at the unit. Is there types of rust? Has there been damage from storms? Then based on that, then we drive down deeper, look at the coils on the inside, open up, look at the fan motors, look at the blower wheel. We look at the electronics in there. The panels, are they tight? Are we getting a moisture seepage into the system?
Right.
Which could cause electrical issues as well.
And leakage.
And water leaks.
And water, because we see those all the time. We go to projects
we do.
and we see these units that are up on the rooftop and they actually don't coat them. And we're telling our customers now, right, we recommend to do that e-coating.
Correct.
And coat them to give them that extra protection in that panel. So when it's time, it rusts out, well, this protective coat protects it from seeping down into and through your ductwork and into your location.
Exactly.
So these are things that Echo Air Conditioning knows how to prevent. Correct. So what's the turnaround time?
And so then once we've done that, we then take all the information back,
right?
Put it together. We'll triage it with the team. And then from there, then we submit our information. And typically the turnaround time on those. So for a roof that's a building that's 50 units, typically it's 72 hours. We submit that to the client.
Perfect. All right, good, good. And now let's talk a little bit about residential for our
Okay.
residential customers, because I also know that Echo does residential.
Correct. Yes, we do.
Also, you do commercial
We do commercial
and residential,
yes.
right? So on the residential side, let's talk about, well, with COVID and what's going on with our health and the environment inside, it's now priority.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit of what you've encountered. What methods do we have now available to prevent prevent perhaps some diseases, whatever.
Correct.
And also, what type of indoor air quality are you suggesting to improve the indoor air quality?
Wow. Okay. So Echo's approach is we take a holistic approach when we go to whether it's a residential or commercial, but for this example, we'll
Yes.
talk residential. We'll go and we'll take a look and see what the actual system looks like, the air handler. The air handler is the system that's on the inside of your home. It's typically in a closet or sometimes in a ceiling.
Right.
So we'll take a look at the general overall condition. Are we seeing any leakage, air leakage, just being efficient? Take a look and see what type of air filters that you're using.
Right.
We'll investigate your duct work.
And they have HEPA filters, MERV filters,
Filters.
and depending on the grade of the MERV filter, it gives you a better quality.
Correct.
And that's like the great quality that they use in the hospitals,
Correct.
where they go from MERV 8 to MERV 11.
That's correct.
Correct.
So then typically we'll take a look at the system that they have. If it's an older system, then as far as the MERV filtration, they only can go so how shall I say?
So dense.
Because what will happen is then it affects the efficiency of
flow,
the unit.
the flow, the airflow.
It'll cause problems. Right?
Correct.
So we want the airflow. Then what we'll do is take a look at the outside unit, make sure that it's operating properly. Then from
Go ahead.
okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, you operate.
So we take a look at the outside unit just to make sure it's operating condition. The coils are clean, no obstructions with bushes, debris, that type of thing, which can affect the efficiency of the unit because we're rejecting the heat from the home. Then what we'll do is we'll take a look. What's the environment like? Do they have hurricane impact windows? Are they jalousie windows? What type of air intrusion are they getting from the heat coming in? Seals around the doors. So there's things that, we'll give them a list. Here's some items that you should consider. You might want to consider in making this structure a little more efficient.
Correct.
Then what we'll take a look at is, are there animals in their house? Is it a multi-generational home? Because there again, every home is different.
Correct.
And then with that, we may say, a UV light may offer you some benefits, but you may want to take a look at ionization.
Correct.
You may want to take a look at a combination. It may be a filtration.
And the ionization it goes in your stream of your ductwork. It goes in the airstream.
Correct.
Because the indoor air quality UV light does your coil, which is a light that goes inside your coil.
Correct.
And it maintains your coil clean.
To keep the biofilm off, which can cause any issues with mold, fungus, and that's basically where any type of allergen, bacteria, virus is going to pass through.
Right through there.
Correct.
And
which
it goes into
important to have your filter proper.
Correct. So we got the filter to protect it. Now we got the UV light to protect that coil, and now we have the third ionization in your airstream, and that goes through your ductwork because it's what you're breathing, and it goes around your house.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the ionization, so we have positive, negative ions, and what we'll do is we'll basically put those, they're flooded into the airstream, so to speak. What happens is the ions capture, they connect to allergens, a virus, anything that's in there, caps it,
and brings it
down, weighs it, and then it gets caught up into the filter through the cycle, your supply and your return. So the other thing we'll take a look at is the duct work. It's key. Sometimes if people have had work up there, we've come across all the time, they'll say, oh, in the back room, I'm not really getting much air. Get up in the attic and we look and we see it's either collapsed or it's ripped. Okay, then we need to replace that. Sometimes it's just that section. Sometimes we may suggest take a look at replacing your entire duct system, depending on the age and what we find in there.
I just want to clarify something here with you, and that is duct cleaning.
Duct cleaning.
Yes. I'm not a believer of duct cleaning just because flex duct has an accordion
Yes, it does.
And
You
so
can't get the, you can't
you
reach any
can't get into
recesses.
those reeves, correct? And you have a brush now, sparking up more dust,
Correct.
and now it's going into your airstream, and you're contaminating your ductwork,
Correct.
which is made out of fiberglass.
Right.
And if you take a brush and you move that fiberglass with the dust, you're creating a mess.
Correct.
So I am not a believer of cleaning ducts unless they are metal.
If they're metal.
If they're metal,
if they're
they could be
rigid.
treated because they have a hard surface
Correct.
where the brush could then, work its way around it. And you have a vacuum cleaner sucking out on the other end.
Correct.
For commercial application, they are designed for that. And some homes that are maybe 25, 30 years old and they have metal ductwork, those could be cleaned.
Those could be cleaned.
But your suggestion would be if you have ductwork that you see that the grills are black, and at the end you see the little dust flying off.
Correct.
I think it's time to change your
Time to change
ductwork,
the
not
ductwork.
clean them.
Correct.
Do you agree?
I agree.
And
Change
it's
the
almost going to
ductwork.
be the same cost of cleaning and changing the ductwork, just about.
Yeah, the thing is, and then with the cleaning, you're never going to get 100%. Although when you replace the ductwork, we replace it. We check the CFM at all the grills to make sure that you're getting effective airflow that is being distributed.
You balance it out.
properly.
You have to
Correct.
balance
It's all
out the
balanced
system.
out.
Right.
And then you can be assured that you've got clean air.
Right. Because now you've
properly
replaced,
maintained.
you're not cleaning your ductwork and moving all this dust around.
You're replacing.
Now you're replacing it. You're taking out those old filthy ducts and you're replacing them with nice fresh ducts with your UV light and the other products that the ionization.
And there's more indoor air quality products that are out there. We've got a team that'll basically take a look at all new types of technology coming out.
Electrostatic filters.
Correct.
Correct. Electronic filters.
Different type. And sometimes we've seen instances where the air filtration can be improved just by some minor changes. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's just minor changes
Correct,
that
correct.
we can do that depending on each site that we go or home that we go
Correct.
to.
And another thing I want to bring up to consumers is that not only the indoor and the outdoor unit is important, but also your ductwork. It's part of the job.
It is.
It's part, and if it's not balanced properly, if it's not sealed properly, again, you're actually wasting money and
You're
throwing it
wasting
out the
energy.
window,
Yes, you are.
like we say.
It's true.
Yes.
It's very true.
Yes. So anyways, well, I want to talk to you about your family
Okay.
and where you live.
Okay. I live in Cutler Bay.
Perfect.
Monica,
So we're neighbors.
We are neighbors.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're here representing.
Yes.
We're here representing Cutler Bay because I'm the president for Cutler Bay Business Association. So we represent local business owners,
Mhm.
and we're here to support them and support
Absolutely.
the local business owners. And you're also here to support them as well.
Absolutely.
So living in Cutler Bay, tell us a little bit about your family and about Cutler Bay.
My honey Monica, she's a school teacher
You can talk
in
to her there.
Homestead.
Say
She's a
hi.
school teacher in Homestead, and she's retiring in January
Okay.
2022. So she's really excited about that. She's been teaching, I believe, 37 years.
Wow.
So she's looking forward to her retirement, spending some time with her family and friends, and have some little more freedom, so to speak.
Okay.
It's been a tough year with this pandemic. Not only for for folks like myself, but school teachers and school children, and I think everyone was a bit affected by this. But yeah, she's looking forward to her retirement.
Perfect. And tell me a little bit of story about Cutler Bay. How long have you been living?
I've been living in Cutler Bay since 2011, and I came from California. I was out in Silicon Valley for years, and then South Florida always resonated with me, and came down, fell in love, and here I am.
Yeah, with Cutler Bay, huh?
Exactly.
Perfect. Have you seen Cutler Bay? It's grown in the past few years.
Unbelievable. It's incredible. It's
Very
incredible.
nice projects. The
Absolutely.
town over there at Cutler Bay,
Yes.
our town manager, Ralph Casals, are doing a wonderful job in doing that expansion on that road
Correct.
that we did. And we even got awards for that road on Old Cutler, the
Oh, I
beautiful
realize
road.
that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
it's very, very nice place to,
Well,
to live.
the building department, we work with them, permitting the building department. They're fabulous.
Right.
They're efficient. We're glad, whatever we were able to do projects in Cutler Bay and the surrounding areas. It's they're a joy to work with.
Okay, well, great. Just a few words so we can depart from our meeting here.
Okay.
What would you like to say to individuals that are out in the field that don't have a job,
Okay.
that don't find themselves? let them know if this is a good place to start.
Yeah, please. Echo air
went to that
conditioning. Oh,
question,
Echo air conditioning. We are looking electricians, plumbers, air conditioning, HVAC mechanics, also the refrigeration, HVACR. With this industry, it's massive. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry in the United States. You can take multiple paths. You can come in and do the service side. You can get into management supervision. There's a financial component, HR component. There's a parts component, supply houses,
Like
manufacturers.
Correct.
Exactly, like HVAC providers here.
Yeah.
So you can go to the sales side, business development side. You can also work for school districts. I mean, businesses. It's amazing, and especially here in the subtropics, we human beings, we have to have air conditioning.
Correct.
And with that, we can improve upon that with indoor, our indoor air quality. There's a lot of solutions out there which Ernie, his organization, provides. So if you're looking for work, please give us a call. Please email me. We are hiring.
Perfect. And again, Don, I want to thank you for this opportunity and for sharing your story, how you got started in this trade, and to really, encourage those that really don't have a job and don't have a place to go. They can always communicate with us, and we'll be glad to help them as well.
Absolutely.
And HVAC providers, we actually supply Echo air conditioning in their projects.
Correct.
With equipment and parts, and we are actually working on a couple of projects right now.
We are working on some projects right now, and with HVAC providers and Ernie's team, they're able to provide us a turnkey package. So we're able to be more efficient because Ernie provides the engineering support, that added value, the logistics, units
Of
to be
finding,
at
right. We do all the research, we do all the phone calls, we do all let us
the
do that work.
packaging, delivery, everything.
of the
It's great. So I think it's been a great partnership. So
Yes.
for
both of us.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at the end, the consumer or the end user benefits because we have our deal packed.
Absolutely.
And you have the plumbing, you have the electrical, you have the HVAC, and now you have the supplier that works with you
Absolutely.
hand in hand.
And we do this in a fiscally responsible way. So the
Correct.
thing is that our customers, they're able to see what we're able to deliver at the price points we're able to deliver it at.
Right.
So it's a great value.
Right. And again, we deal with architects, engineers. We
Absolutely.
just don't rule of thumb projects.
No.
We go in there, we look at heat loads, we look at the actual project to design it properly.
Exactly.
And that way we don't have no humidity, we don't have no mold, we don't have any
Test and
problems.
balance everything.
Test
from
and
the air.
balance.
Absolutely.
We do it from A through Z the right way.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you once again for being here, John.
Ernie, I appreciate
You're the man.
it. Thank you.
You're the man. Hey, why don't you show us your toolbox and your helmet there? This is how Don walks into project.
Yeah, so a lot of projects. So typically I have my helmet. Just throw it on here.
There you go.
And then my tool bag. It's a small one. You see a lot of guys that have backpacks, but basically this a meter to check for voltages, a fuse puller, a light. If I'm in a dark area, do have a small set of gauges. So for
He's
doing
ready.
business development, this allows me to go out there and accurately
Test and
ascertain
diagnose.
that this unit it's functioning, what's going on, that type of thing. So now if it's what we call heavy lifting, then it's the other mechanics.
Right. And the last thing I want to give us an advice is check your equipment before the summer gets around.
Absolutely.
And
Please.
call Don, please. Echo air conditioning.
Echo air conditioning.
Phone number.
So the main number is 954-366-4585. We do have an after hours answering service, and we operate 24/7.
Thank you, Don. You're
Thank
the
you,
man.
Ernie.
Please call Don.
Appreciate
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Miami
you.
Community Newspaper, for this opportunity. Please share this show. Thank you once again. And I would like to have you once again.
Thank you again, Ernie.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.